Good morning, guys. Today I've decided to come out to Redridge. It's frosty 1 degree this morning. We had frost, and I'm going to do a little bit of bird hunting later this morning. But first thing I wanted to do was I've had a hankering to try out some metal detecting. And I remember when I was a kid, there's a trail here I can show you. So there's this trail right here that when we were kids we used to GT down. And it goes way up into the sugar bush, and at the top there's a maple sugar shack. And my grandfather used to do that for years when we were kids. So I remember one time a cousin of mine lost a gold ring when we were sledding. And we never did find that. It had to be about 30 years ago. And I'm just going to go up here and try to see if I can find it. It's got to be here buried somewhere. Let's give it a go and see what happens. This is the first time ever using one of these things. I don't know what I'm doing. It's one of the most basic models you can get. So hopefully... Oh boy. Well, I didn't go 3 feet and there's a signal. This could be a bad sign that this trail is right full of stuff, but I'll stop and give it a little dig and see what's in the hole. Well, there it is. My first metal detecting find. It's, I don't know what it is. Something off a piece of machinery, no doubt. My grandfather owns a lot of farm equipment and tractors, and this trail was, like I say, maintained by him, so... Okay, I've only got a few more feet and there's another signal. Oh my god, what were you eating? You set the metal detector off. Huh, I found it. It was off to the side of my hole. Big old chunk of metal beam. So I've moved down the trail a little further here. Maybe get to a little less dirty of a spot. I'm still quite a ways from where I remember looking for this ring in the snow. So maybe I'll just go right up to the good spot and look around there. I don't know. This is pretty entertaining though. I don't know, I could see myself being addicted to this. You hear a beep, you gotta check it out. Well, I've come a couple hundred feet and I haven't had a signal. Till all of a sudden I got up here and then, oh! Dangerous looking, whatever it is. I checked all around where I remembered looking for that ring, and there was no signals, so... It's saying iron. Oh. It's bouncing between all of them. It's saying it's deep, and silver or copper. Okay. We'll try a dig here and see what's there. Oh, just under the leaves was a sheet of old tin. No pirate treasure there. Okay, so I found it. And it's an old bolt. Got some deer running right here. I'm at the last spot. Where I dug up the bolt, and a deer just ran right here, 25 feet away. I think there's another one in there just standing there. Well, I couldn't catch up to them. Tried to get them on film for you. Pretty thick in here. But as you can see, it's beautiful old hardwoods up here. Great for syrup back in the day, I guess. did some tests with this phone before and I didn't realize I was shooting everything in 4K. And there's no image stabilization when that's on. So now I'm back to 1920 by 1080. And we'll see if this is any better when I'm moving around. Still looks a little like Jello to me, just looking at the screen. Nothing beats a real video camera. Anyway, now I gotta find my detector and my trowel. They're up here on this hill somewhere. Very interesting. I'm back to where, very close to where I was looking for that ring, and I got a silver copper. It just went once. Here, it said it's very deep, and I can't get it to do it again, so is there something actually here? Or was it just some kind of false alarm? I don't know. I believe it was right here in front of me. Right here somewhere where it beeped. But I can't get it to do it again. That'd be a bugger if that ring was here and it's just too deep for this little detector. Alright, well this one's a little more interesting. An old shell casing. Grandfather, you deer poacher, you. See if I can see what it's a Remington. .280. We'll have to ask him because we never shot a .280. He's never owned one, I don't think. Yeah, we're a little hunting crazy out here, so we all know our weapons and ammunition, but hey, we're Canadian. I'm gonna go to the house and ask him about that. So I've moved out behind the old barn here, and just in the old cow pasture we got a signal here. I'll find it again and then we'll dig it. Geez, it's like a munitions factory around here. This one is a Winchester 308. Another one of those same signals a little further down here in the pasture, so I'm gonna now bet bullet. So I was right. This is an oldie, a really old shell. A 3855. My other grandfather bought one of those in 1921, and I shot my first deer with a 3855. Oh, partridge. Partridge in the tree over there. So actually, instead of showing you on camera, I'm going to shoot him, because that's why I came out here today. Two birds with one stone, so they say. I'll be right back. So, as you can see, I wasn't joking. I brought the 22 today to go partridge hunting after I did my metal detecting. We'll get this out of the way so that I can just carry on metal detecting. Okay, we're gonna end this guy. Alright, so we got one rooster. Now the dinner is secured. Time to get back to digging for treasure. Okay, so I remembered a very valuable trick that other guys were saying. Always recheck your hole. So we've just pulled a 3855 bullet out of here. Let's see what else is in this hole. This last one is really strange. I can't seem to find it. And the signal has changed. I get a high signal and a low signal. I have to keep going here. I found it. It's a rock. It's like a sandstone rock. Very breakable. Huh, bummer. Holy mackerel, would you look at that. My first ever diamond. Didn't know the machine could find those. So I've taken to waving clumps of dirt in front of the finder because I'm having a real hard time finding this last signal here. And I realized I'm still wearing my rings. Gotta go take my rings off. More junk. So this detector here I'm finding it's not the most accurate in terms of where something is. This hole that I'm digging here is very tough going. It's very rocky, very gravelly. It's on a path. And I'm getting a nice high signal, which is the only reason I'm digging it. But again, I can't seem to find what it is. Have to keep trying. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't find the signal here, and then I realized. And then I got looking over here. It's a culvert! 10 minutes wasted digging a hole to find a culvert. Moving on. Perrier. À la source France. Huh, my family drinks only the best. Okay, so I've made my way down into my grandfather's field, and before he even had this property, there was an old homestead here, and this is where the root cellar was. So you can see some old boards there against the roots of that tree. That, I think, was the entrance right here. And then there's a big hole in the ground here now where this root cellar was, and nobody's ever been in here. I'm going to just detect around here, see if I find anything. Here I am, right in the middle of the root cellar. Oh, please be a jar of pickled beets. From like 1878. Well, I think it's an old battery. I'm not sure. Seems to be a bunch of cells in here. That's what I would think it is. I mean, how else were they going to keep the root cellar cold, right? Well, there's the next target down in the root cellar, an old barbed wire fence. Got to keep the kids out of the pickles. Root cellar, all right. That's all it is in here is root after root. And there is a signal here, but Great Granny's old hooch bottles are buried here. Lots of broken glass, lots of roots. I may just pass on this one. Dang, foiled again. Some kind of metal plate. It's pretty big, and I figured the signal seemed pretty wide, so it's old, whatever it is, we'll just bury it and it can finish rusting away. Old piece of wire. Geez, it's getting more exciting. More junk. Awesome. I've been looking for one of those. Oh, a lucky beer cap. That's going right in the collection. Grandma used to drink those. It's too bad I'm not going fishing. There's all kinds of them in here. But I do have a signal that I'm trying to dig out. Come on, you guys stay over there. Stay out of the way. Well, I did find something, and it's deep. It's either unexploded World War II ordnance or a Chinese skyscraper. It was quite a ways in there. To all you worms, I apologize. We'll put you guys back in there. Everybody can have a nice long afternoon nap. Oh, found another target. Maybe I should dig it up. Apparently it's silver copper. that was a chunk of silver, I'd be retiring. Well, there you guys have it. My first day of digging junk. The Bounty Hunter 1100, just the cheapest machine you can get, but didn't cost me anything. I just borrowed it, so it was a great tool to just see how this works and if I'd be interested in doing it more. And I gotta say, I'm addicted. You've seen all the wonderful things I found. It's enough to make a man want to come back. So anyway, that's it. 4.5 hours of digging. Lots more ground if I wanted to cover here at the farmstead. And we own various properties. My great-grandfather had another 160 acres. It might be fun to go over there and see what's over there. And maybe hit some places that people actually go and try to get some coins and things. I don't know. But I enjoyed my day, and I think I'm going to buy myself a good detector and try this again. In the meantime, I'll use this Bounty Hunter a few more times, and we'll hopefully have another video up for you guys soon. Talk to you later.